Paul, welcome to AI to Peace.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
First thing I'd like to ask you is, could you tell us about yourself and your journey?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So, say Paul Atherton, I've been working in education and international development for about 20 years now. I started off actually doing a PhD where I was looking at, what makes some countries rich and some countries poor, and found out the answer there was education. And for the last 15, 20 years, I've been devoting my career to seeing how we can improve education, primarily in sub-Saharan Africa. I've done this in a number of ways: academic, policymaker. I worked for the UK government, the Department for International Development for a while. And then a few years ago, I spun out and set up by myself. So I set up Fab Inc., a small boutique or advisory firm, which helps bring cutting edge technology to the schools and teachers that need it the most. So we've worked a lot in sub-Saharan Africa, in Tanzania, and across the African continent. A few years ago, we all got very excited about the power of data and the power of information, and particularly AI, to bring new ways of working to help children. And from there, we started with experimental models predicting which girls wouldn't come back to school after COVID, giving chatbots into the hands of teachers in Sierra Leone to help them have a coach 24/7. And from there, the initiative AI for Education.org was born.
Wow, incredible. Tell us more about the education and AI and the work that you're doing. Let's get into the detail of that, please.
Yeah, of course. So AI for Education.org is a big global initiative that tries to make sure that the children in low and low middle income countries are not left behind. So one of the things that really excites us about this technology and this revolution is the fact that children in Malawi can benefit equally to children in Milton Keynes. It's the same technology. And we've got to contextualize it for them and make it speak to them. But the power of the cloud computing and mobile technology means that we're really trying to make sure that we can build these products for them and with them as this wave comes. So we're doing this in a number of ways. One is we do a lot of advanced R&D ourselves. So we try to do this where we see the market will not solve for. Secondly, we're trying to do it openly, transparently, collaboratively, and making sure that we're growing a big community that is really harnessing this new technology and applying it to AI for good.
So how does it actually help? I mean, what's the mechanic of it? What's the AI actually doing?
The beauty of AI is it can be anything. So imagine that all tech is now ed tech. And in the hands of a trained, and we do a lot of capacity building for the teachers or the heads of school user, they can be creating a lesson plan or simply just asking content clarification. So one of the questions that always sticks with me is in the Teacher AI, which is a WhatsApp support tool for teachers in Sierra Leone. One of the teachers asked, "What does crassy mean in democracy?" And I thought, what does crassy mean in democracy? It's a really good question. And having that kind of access to knowledge at their fingertips can really transform lessons. So it can be used in a number of ways. This isn't just sitting children down in front of screens. This is the school coach that is driving to the school to help them, just doing a quick check of the statistics and a quick check of the previous reports and having suggestions for improvement through AI. And as I say, the beauty of this technology is the reach is very, very far into communities where we've simply not seen technology reach before. So yeah, it can be used in a wide number of ways.
Can I ask you, when you hear the phrase AI to peace, what's the reality of that outcome?
I think we've got to shape that outcome, and I think it's within our remit and within our ability to make sure that these technologies are used for good. So for me, AI to peace means empowering communities to use AI to become more productive, to become happier, hopefully wealthier, which will lead to assured prosperity. There is a risk that there's many other applications of AI which are less less beneficial to society, should we say, in terms of some of the predictive models. For me, it's about us as a community and as a world saying, no, we want to harness this new technology for peace. And we want to do it through increasing prosperity for all of the users by designing it for them and with them.
Paul, thank you for that. When you think about AI, do you have fear about its development?
I have a lot of fear, and I think people have got no idea what is coming. So a lot of people have tried AI models and said, oh, it hallucinates. And maybe one does in terms of the older model. But when you get 5 AI models doing a dialogue and critiquing of the work, the potential of this to revolutionize knowledge work, we're applying it in education, but it also applies to agriculture, medicine, legal, is phenomenal. So I have a few concerns there and see risks emerging. One is that it will further inequality. So if you're poor, you're not going to be able to pay $10, $20 a month for a subscription. Whereas if you're rich, you probably can, and you can supercharge your productivity. So I see it could potentially worsen inequality. I also see there's a potential that because there's no economic market, the poor farmers in Malawi, the teachers in Zambia, will essentially get the cast off. So they'll get a model that's been designed for high income countries in California, in Paris, wherever, and they will be given this. And they won't have the voice or the agency to say, no, this is how we want to do education for our children and our community. This is something we're working a lot on in our initiative to make sure that, again, it's designed for them and with them as well. So, yes, I see many, many risks emerging with AI.
Do you think the gains outweigh the risks?
Yes, 100%. And even if I didn't, I think this is coming anyway. So I say to my friends a lot, if you're not using AI, you and your jobs are at risk from somebody who is. Because AI is not about us just getting this magic tool which sorts everything. AI is about us having a PhD or postdoc or very advanced level friend who is willing to work at any day, any time, day or night, and give us a really concise answer. So if you see it as a little friend or co-pilot, then all of a sudden it's going to be everywhere. So yeah, I definitely see that there are some risks, but I do think that overall the potential for good will outweigh these.
If people would like to support you on your journey, how can they do that?
I think they should definitely follow us on LinkedIn, come to AI4Education.org, join in our community as well. So education is universal, and as I say, one of the things that excites me is this wave of technology can benefit children all around the world equally. Specifically, if they know of any good open source, open access education materials, maybe a particular book resonated with their child and they would like to share that with us, particularly if this is for low resource communities, that would be invaluable. Because one of the things we're really trying to do as an initiative is crowdsourcing the training material, as it's called, to make sure that their voices are represented. So generally join us, spread the word, and more practically, if anyone knows of really good education materials that they would like to share to enable these models to be more targeted, that would be wonderful.
Great. I think you're about 30,000 people following you on LinkedIn, haven't you?
We do, yeah. We've already got, I think, 20,000 people reading our newsletter, which puts us up there with the Bedford Times, I think, is our closest local newspaper competitor. But no, seriously, we've got about 32,000 people following us already, yeah.
Well done. Congratulations on that, because what a wonderful thing you're trying to do in terms of giving young people tools to become the driving force behind the vision of a united and sustainable world. That's worth getting out of bed for. So congratulations on that, mate. Fabulous. Okay, lastly, if there was one film, book or resource that you would recommend for anybody interested in AI, what would it be?
Oh, it's a difficult question, actually. I'm quite geeky, as people that know me will testify. I really liked the alignment problem. I forgot the name of the author, but the alignment problem is a very good popular science introduction to AI, told often through the lens really engaging with stories of how children learn. The second one is Minority Report, actually, because once you start actioning on predictions when your predictions can be imprecise and also you're perpetuating biases, the future can get quite scary. So I always like to say to people, just because we can do it doesn't mean we should do it. Coming back to Jurassic Park, though.
Okay, that's the end of our great conversation. Paul, we wish you the very best on your remarkable journey. Good luck, and thank you for participating in AI to Peace.
Cool. Thank you, Jeremy.